it doesn't feel like such a big deal to me to adopt an older cat. I live in the Village in Manhattan, and one night I was lying on the sofa, and from the corner of my eye, I saw something running across the floor. I was like, holy cow. And it ran the other way. I didn't know, is it a mouse? Is it a little rat? But I stayed on the sofa, and I went down the next morning and told the doorman. And I remembered that the super had two cats in the basement, brothers. So I asked the doorman, I said, well, what about, can I just borrow the cats? Don't you have cats in the basement? I'll bring a cat up and let that mouse or rat, whatever it is, know who's ruling the roost. So he says, oh, well, Tom died, so there's just Jerry. But you could borrow him. Sure, go down. Well, I go down to the basement, and the poor thing is living in the boiler room. It's hot. It's bright. It smells of like toxic, diesel fuel. It was just total concrete. And the cat comes running down like a 20-foot ladder and ran right to me. The poor thing is down there all alone. And I pet his little head, and my whole hand was black. He was filthy. Serious oil filthy. So I took him upstairs, and he was scared. He was a little scaredy cat. But he was so sweet. And when I brought him back down, I spoke to the super, and I said, well, is that where he lives? And the super's like, yeah, well, his brother died 3 months ago, so poor little Jerry was all alone for 3 months in this horrible place. And apparently when his brother died, he just sat in a corner, facing a corner for like days and days. It broke my heart. So when I told the super that, I thought, I can't believe the cat is living down here. He says, well, you could adopt him if you want to. I was like, oh boy. But I couldn't let him stay down there. I thought about it for a week, and I went down every day, and I brought him dinner, or I did my laundry, and I let him out, and I brought him into the laundry room just to get to know each other a little better. And then I decided, I said, okay, that's it. He's coming home with me. I brought him up, and I don't know, I didn't know him that well, but there was no way he could come into the apartment so filthy. I said, okay, I'm going to fill up the tub, put him in. I'm going to try not to get all sliced up from the cat, because cats do not like baths. So I brought him in the bathroom, put him in the tub, and he just sat there. He let me wash him. Oh my God, he was so sweet. He was just looking at me. It was probably the first time in his life he was ever given a bath. I put heavy detergent on him to get the thick oil out. He thought he went to heaven and died and went to heaven, because he has his own little chair. It's clean here. It's quiet. It's not the boiler sound going all the time. So when the doormen found out that I adopted him, they're like, don't you worry. If you go away, we will watch him. We love him. He has such a good life. They can't believe how great he looks. I call him Misu. I call him Pumpkin Boy. But my boyfriend answers to that also, so it's a problem. He has not once ever tried to go out that front door. And every other cat I've ever had always wanted to run out the front door. Not little Jerry. He knows where his bread is buttered. He's in retirement.